And we saw some just beautiful moments when they walked out on Wednesday, and looking to seeing those again. I was perusing all of the different newspapers and stories online and just taking in all the photographs, and there
they come.
And there they are, NASA astronauts.
Small crowd, but big cheers.
NASA astronauts Bob Behnken and Doug Hurley. Doug left, Bob on the right, waving to the crowd there to cheer them on. And there are their families right in front of them.
The virtual hugs, a very special moment. Fist bumps.
You can hear them.
Let's light this candle, I agree. Launch America! Bye, guys.
CrewDragon!
Now they are getting into the Tesla Model X that's going to take them to the launch pad, being strapped into their seats.
Suit techs are attaching their umbilicals, so integrated into the Teslas. These are not just any Tesla you can just buy off the web or in a Tesla dealership. They've been outfitted with cooling units. What you saw in the suit room, that umbilical is being connected to the suit to provide cooling air to the astronauts while they're on the way to the pad. And those Falcon wing doors are closing.
Super sleek.
A rapid departure from the Astro van.
And their flight surgeon is in the front seat in the passenger side, taking the journey along with them.
As I mentioned last time, we always think about the technology and the rockets, but this is what it's all about, the families coming together, supporting the families, us working together as a team to ensure they get up there safely and back home safely for their families.
I couldn't hear everything they were saying, but I did catch Bob telling his son to be good for mom and make her life easy. As a parent, I appreciate that.
See that prominent NASA meatball.
Now, as we watch the convoy begin to pad 39A, to our SpaceX and NASA family who over the years made this mission a reality and who have worked this launch campaign up to this point, we have you here in our thoughts.
And we wish every one of you could be here to see this up close. But regardless of where you call home and regardless of where you're watching from today. And so for the next few minutes, we are going to follow the convoy, but highlight those whose words and hands and thoughts built all that we see here today. We hope all of you watching can feel the pride each of these NASA and SpaceX team members has for this.
From the Commercial Crew Program. We're so excited about this historical day and on being a part of the very first mission for human space flight, commercial human space flight ever. We're behind you, Bob and Doug.
From SpaceX in Cape Canaveral, Florida. Congratulations to SpaceX for hitting another major, and safe travels to Bob and Doug.
Bob and Doug, as the launch vehicle chief engineer, we've got a lot of our launch vehicle team here to wish you a very wonderful experience coming up to Demo 2. We're so excited for you. And launch America. It's time to launch. Let's go. Hi.
Hi, this is
Perla from Hawthorne headquarters. We want to wish Bob and Doug a safe trip to the International Space Station. Go Dragon!
It's been 9 years in the making. This is such a historic time, and our team has worked so hard, and we're very excited to be here. Go Bob and Doug!
Hi, this is Sam from McGregor, Texas. Go Bob and Doug, go NASA, and go SpaceX.
Sean O'Rourke from Johnson Space Center. Bob and Doug, wishing you a great flight, and just wanted to tell you good luck.
Hi, I'm Dustin Kamak with NASA Kennedy's Communications and Public Engagement Directorate, and we all want to wish Bob and Doug safe travels and Godspeed. You are both an inspiration to us all. Now, let's get out there and launch America. Let's do it. Come on. Launch
I love seeing that group of people. I mean, we saw all those different groups of folks from NASA and SpaceX, from walks of life that have come together to make this happen. And that was just a small fraction of them. Look at that shot. That is so cool.
Wow. A little thumbs up from, I guess.
Yeah, and you know, it took a little bit of creativity to get this shot to happen. We have a chase vehicle that's on the other side of the road, which is of course shut down, so we could get a camera in there and follow them out. So we are really thankful to Kennedy Space Center Protective Forces for helping us make that happen, so we could see Bob and Doug all the way out to the launch pad.
My ride out was a little bit different than what they're experiencing, because we had the Astrovan had bench seats on each side, and we could look across at each other as we were driving out. And it was moments where we would tell some jokes and look, but sometimes we would just look at each other, and we had such gratitude for having this opportunity to launch into space, and to think about all the people that had a hand in helping us get in that vehicle to drive out to the launch pad, to get ready for this momentous moment. And I think that's probably, even though they're sitting side by side, I think they're probably thinking of the gratitude and the people that have helped them get here, so that they can be on the the pointy end of the rocket, getting a chance to go up to space. It's just a momentous moment.
And they're listening to some tunes too, I heard, right, Lauren?
Yeah. There are at least 3 songs on their playlist that are super interesting. The first is AC/DC's Back in Black. You know that one.
Yeah, well, who doesn't?
Right. Another one that they're listening to is the elevator music from the Blues Brothers, all from Ipanema.
Oh,
Leland.
Okay.
Got another career.
That's enough.
Career
That's
number
enough.
3.
That's
That's
enough.
right. NFL, astronaut, musician. Yep.
And of course, they are also listening to the Star Spangled Banner, the Army French Horns version.
Now, we didn't have tunes in the Astrovan.
No?
And I know that the Tesla has a really kicking stereo system. Is that still the custom system that's in the Tesla?
I haven't been in this one, so I don't know what they're rocking, but I'm sure it's pretty cool.
And again, just for some perspective, they left the operations and checkout building just a minute ago, and so it's about a 9-mile drive from there to the launch pad. It's on 20 minutes, kind of depends on how quickly they're trucking.
The other thing sometimes that you hear as you're in the convoy is the helicopter, the Huey helicopter flying overhead, and it's thinking military. You're thinking really important things, and it's a moment that also kind of solidifies in you that, hey, something big is about to happen, and that whoop, 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 the sound of that Huey is just in your head, and it feels good that all these people are helping you get there safely.
Yeah, I think we heard that actually coming by
We did.
this
Yeah.
building earlier, because we were talking. I was like, I hope that's.
And it was pretty low because it was pretty loud.
You could feel it, too.
I did. I could feel it.
I took this drive yesterday in my rental car, and granted, it wasn't in a Model X, and I'm not an astronaut, but driving to 39A, that same route, and trying to imagine myself in that headspace, it was pretty awesome. I got to figure out how to get on Falcon 9.
Lauren, we're all astronauts. We're in space.
That is true.
You just gotta get on the rocket.
Yeah, well, Leland, there's a want you there.
I think we should, listen to them.
Yeah, I'm all for it.
I think we should
Maybe we should make that a poll question.
Yeah. Or we should all maybe go to space. What do you think?
I am on board. I mean, not literally right now, but I would like to be on board.
Lauren, would you go with us?
Absolutely.
Okay, poll question.
We have so many people watching online, sending well wishes to Bob and Doug. I mean, it started early this week as we were ramping up for Wednesday, and I feel like it's just been this buildup of momentum because we were following along Wednesday, and now we're all following along Saturday, and we have people watching from home that hopefully don't have to work today and can really tune into what's going on here.
And we, as astronauts, truly appreciate all the support, all the social media feeds, and we think about, our families. We saw Megan and Karen there with their sons, wishing Doug and Bob well wishes and Godspeed as they head off in these Teslas to launch pad 39A that launched the Apollo astronauts. And I think, this is just one of those. Everyone in this country is coming together to wish them well, to get them to space safely. It's a really great day.
And they are just now on Saturn Causeway. They just made that right turn onto Saturn Causeway. So to the right of the screen, that building is the Operations and Support Building 2. And on the left right now is the Vehicle Assembly Building, that iconic building that processed the Space Shuttle and Saturn V rocket also.
That's where that mobile transporter used to take out the Apollo, Saturn V rockets and the Space Shuttle. It's just an incredible machine.
And where they're passing right now, I mean, if we were to run a wave, because we are off to the right of your screen there at the press site where you see a group of media there. So from this point they've still got about 3 miles to go from here.
I'll see you guys later. I'll be back in a minute.
You're gonna go hop in. And obviously it's not just Bob and Doug's Tesla. There's a number of cars in that convoy. They're being escorted by Kennedy Space Center Protective Forces and also SpaceX security. They have a flight surgeon there with them. And just a sprinkle of folks along the way. Normally we'd have a whole lot more people out here watching this, but we really appreciate you watching online and from home. Again, wherever you are, at the beach, watching on your phone, your tablet, your whatever mobile device you have, we're going to be here every step of the journey, taking you through it moment by moment. There's a cool shot with the worm on the roof.
There we go.
The second place worm, yes.
The second place worm.
Down this road on the way to 39A, on the left, there's that area where the crawler used to drive. Can you tell us a little bit about the crawler?
Yeah, right there you can see the kind of the gravel where the crawler actually crushes that gravel almost into sand. It's so heavy. When the shuttle will go out and the Apollo Saturn V rocket will go out, and it's just, this thing moves at a glacial rate to get out there because it's got this huge rocket or shuttle on it. But I had a chance to see that when my shuttle went out one day with Alan Poindexter, and it's just this enormous, tracks. But you guys do it in a different way, don't you? You don't go out of the vehicle assembly building. You have your own building.
Yeah, we have a hangar right there on the pad, so we just roll the rocket up the hill.
I'm gonna do it like a Soyuz, where you just raise it up right there from horizontal to vertical, and it's done.
Yeah. Horizontal integrations building in order to process the rocket and mate Dragon to the pad at the very top of the hill. You raise it up vertical with the transporter erector. And you raise it up vertical with the transporter erector.
And again, all these efficiencies to help us get people to space faster and safer, and this is going to be the future of space travel. And also between NASA and SpaceX working together as a team to get people up.
And at this point, the convoy is approaching pad 39A, and they're entering what is known as the BDA, or blast danger area. Now, before any pad technicians, engineers, or astronauts enter that area around the launch pad, the SpaceX and NASA teams do an internal go, no-go poll to make sure
This storied launch pad, which has been the beginning point for so many firsts, is the perfect backdrop for today's historic launch that marks a new first and a new era in human spaceflight.
And here's a view from our gantry near the NA. So we've got another view of the convoy going by here. If I had to count up all the cameras we have all over the place for this, I'd be here all day.
That's a beautiful shot right there,
Wow.
looking at the Kennedy Space Center and Merritt Island and all of the nature around us. It's a big buffer from 39A so that we can be safe and launch our rockets off to space safely.
Absolutely. And a lot of people don't realize this is a national wildlife refuge. I mean, I pass turtles on the way to my car every day.
Yeah.
Well, when we would run from the operations and checkout building, we'd have to watch in for alligators, and so to be really careful about the wildlife.
We used to have one who lived at 39A.
Oh, really?
Yeah, an alligator.
Oh, well, maybe we'll see him. We'll keep an eye out. Tweet at us if you see any.
Did you name him Worm?
Ooh, I was ahead of my time.
Alligator would feel about being called Worm, Leland.
Yeah, well.
And we've got a ton of you following along on social media. Lynn says, as a fellow Missourian, we're so proud of Bob. Launch America, we will be watching from the Space Coast, cheering loud. And another comment, Godspeed and good luck, Astro Benkin and Astro Doug, hashtag Launch America. There you see the SpaceX horizontal integration facility. It's on the left of the screen now. We saw the from the other angle. Or I'm sorry, no, yes. There it is. I was getting my buildings mixed up, so it's on the right now. Yeah, bigger building.
The other is the Falcon Support Building. It's where all of our offices are, and yes, you're correct.
Thank
right
you
there.
for the correction, Laura.
There's our hangar. We process Falcon Heavy in there. There are other boosters in that hangar as well. And the rocket and Dragon that is right now was put together, or rather finally integrated inside of that hangar and then rolled out to that pad to go up vertical.
And there it is. That shot really gives you a sense of the scale of the Falcon 9 rocket. Those Teslas look teeny, teeny, tiny, making their way up there. And so as they pad, we're going to throw it over now to Hawthorne, where Jesse and Dan are watching the action. Hi, guys.
Thanks, Marie. Yeah, really cool watching the Teslas pull up, driving on the launch pad just a few feet away from the vehicle. This is awesome and getting really excited over here. And with us looking at the launch pad right now, we've had to do a number of upgrades, but not only to the launch pad, but SpaceX has also made changes to both Falcon and Dragon to enable flying crew. And a key update to this latest version of Dragon is its highly reliable launch escape system that is capable of carrying safety at any point during the ascent of the rocket.
Another pretty key upgrade is the Dragon's new life support system. As you can imagine, flying humans requires keeping a habitable environment throughout the entire flight, and that means covering everything: breathing air, keeping the capsule at a safe pressure, keeping it free of contaminants, removing any carbon dioxide in the air, regulating the temperature, the humidity, all of these things, and also implementing that waste collection system, aka the toilet.
That sounds pretty important. The changes to Falcon 9 were small but extremely meaningful to meet NASA's requirements for safety for human spaceflight. And specifically, SpaceX had to prove a high degree of fault tolerance, meaning that small failures in the system would not lead to mission failure. Falcon 9 was already able to handle engine failure, but new emphasis was put on making sure that a failure throughout would not mean mission failure. And this goes all the way down to latches, control valves, electronics, wiring, and so much more.
All right, well, with the astronauts now on location at Pad 39A, we're going to swing it right back. Marie, Lauren, Leland, take us through the crew making their final steps towards the Dragon spacecraft.
Sure thing. So we are looking again at Launch Complex 39A. Just a few seconds ago, we saw the Tesla Bob and Doug pull up to the launch pad. This is the site of so much history, you guys. This is where Apollo and Saturn V rushed to the moon, took astronauts from. I mean, this pad has so much history. Leland, you launched from there. What's it like seeing CrewDragon and Falcon 9 there with the pad? With all of the visual changes that have been made, and what kind of emotions does this stir up in you?
You know, when we got out of our Astro van, we stepped out and we just looked up to see this vehicle, and it was creaking, it was groaning, it was making noises. It was get enter it to take us off planet. And you know, you get a chance to take a picture. Sometimes you stand there, you look there, you think about all the training you've done, all the preparation, and again, all the people that have helped you get there. And it's just a solemn, amazing moment for all of us.
And there's an amazing drone shot. Lauren, you explained this a little bit earlier about kind of how SpaceX brings the rocket and capsule vertical. Now that we see it, can you explain that again for folks who maybe missed that?
Yes, of course. Dragon vehicles via the TE, transporter erector, and they basically roll it up those rails. You can't really see them. You kind of see them in the screen, those
Right
rails. Roll the entire TE rocket up to the very top of the pad, pin it into the pad systems, and then roll it up vertical.
And we are about T-minus 2 hours, minutes, 44 seconds and counting. In just a couple of minutes, we are expecting to hear a formal announcement that the crew is at the pad. Of course, we saw them pull up in the and there they are. Looks like they've already gotten out of the car, and they are walking up to the elevator that will carry them all the way up to the 255-foot level, and then they'll have a couple of steps to get up to the level where the crew access arm is.
I have the AC/DC song in my head as I see them walking up.
You know what I was kind of jamming out to on my way in was ZZ Top, Sharp Dressed Man.
Oh, nice.
I was like, I don't know, that might be on my playlist if I were in there. But there they are, taken in the sight, craning to see the top of the Falcon 9 rocket. It's 230 feet tall if you round up. And then CrewDragon is another 27 feet from the bottom of the trunk to the top of the nose cones. When you're out there in person, it's really hard to describe just how large it is.
Look at them getting excited. They're ready to get in the vehicle, get in the elevator, and make it to the top. There's some FOD. He's picking up foreign object debris.
Oh, it.
Meatball.
Don't worry, there's a meatball on CrewDragon.
Those white arrows you see there are essentially illuminating the way for up there to find their way to the escape baskets in the event of an emergency that would require them to get far away from the rocket and the pad.
And it's hard this angle, but there's actually a phone right here, and I can't tell if it's Bob or Doug that's using the phone right now. But Leland, can you explain the significance of that? It's the same phone that was there during the.
Yeah, you get a chance to talk to maybe friends or family that you haven't maybe couldn't come to the launch. In this case, it's quite a few people, but just to have that last moment to talk to someone before you get in the vehicle. It's a beautiful view.
And we're watching the crew when they're done using. We expect them to be making their way into the crew access arm, and